One of the beautiful and deep joys of my life as a boy was getting to spend time on the farm, my grandparents' farm. And Grandpa owned 90 acres, and he raised large gardens, and we would get to spend a week, 2 weeks at a time during the summer on their farm. And we'd climb up in the hayloft, we'd walk all over the place, and play baseball. There were just so many things that we did on the farm. And I remember the outhouse. They did not have indoor plumbing in it. And for a kid, that was pretty cool. Now I probably don't feel quite that way. but as a kid, that was a big deal. We would use the outhouse and so many other things, so many other memories. But one particular memory that came to mind even the other day as I loved to watch my grandmother prepare meals. One afternoon, I was in the kitchen, and she was standing there at the counter. I don't remember what she was fixing, but she was preparing supper. And I just loved spending time with my grandma. And she was always so kind and loving and just so precious in my life, such a significant woman in my life. And loved the Lord and just treated each of us as a gift. We felt so special around her. But I remember asking Grandma, because I was feeling a little lonely and a little rejected, obviously, or whatever. And I remember asking Grandma, which one of your grandkids do you love the most? And I'm one of, I think, 24 grandkids on that side at that time. And I said, Grandma, which one of your grandkids do you love the most? And I remember her, she just kind of turned her head, and I could just tell she was in deep contemplation, because she wanted to make sure she answered that correctly. And while I knew she loved me, I wanted her to love me. I wanted her to say, why you, of course. But you know what she said? I still remember this, and I've used used it with my kids later on in their growing up years. I said, Grandma, who do you love the most? She finally looked at me and she said, Roger, I love all of you the most. And that's not what I wanted to hear at the time, but I think back on that and I laugh, and I am just so humbled, not only about her wisdom, but the love that came through her eyes, out her mouth, after she thought about that. She said, Roger, I love you all the most. I never forgot that, and I've used that with my kids over the years and grandkids. And isn't it wonderful? Isn't family wonderful? And isn't it wonderful to be with them and know that they all have their special gifts and unique personalities and talents and et cetera, but that we love them all the most. They're God's gift to us. And how blessed we are to have the children and grandchildren that we do. So I declare publicly right now to my kids and grandchildren, I love you all the most.